Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update, Tuesday, March 26, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 2024. I'm sure most of you have heard by now the Baltimore Key Bridge collapses after a ship collision overnight. It was completely tragic, killing all of these workers on the main span through the channel. Recovery efforts continue overnight, and by the morning, they're going to have divers in here to try to recover 6 of those bridge workers that didn't make it. Now, the good news is that the ship was able to send a warning to shore, and that stopped traffic moving across the bridge. So no bystanders were hurt, but there were 6 construction workers on the bridge before the plane hit in these vehicles, and they were not saved. 2 people were saved from the water moments after the collapse, but no details have been given. And we'll get into a little more detail later in the show. Keep calm. It's boom time. Severe storms to rumble and rattle the southern U.S. through midweek. What a tweak. As storms roll across the southern United States through midweek, some communities will be hit with damaging winds and flash flooding, maybe even large hail. Here is the forecast Wednesday through Wednesday night for severe thunderstorms, flooding, downpours, localized damaging wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour with a max gust of 70. From Charleston south to Tallahassee, all the way down towards Orlando. This is the area of some concern. March records are falling in Australia as hail destroys thousands of acres of solar panels in Texas. The nexus of the Schmexis just a few days ago. Sea ice is above multi-decadal norms, but the mainstream is fabricating headlines to scare the pants off of you. So let's take a look at some of here is the 2-meter temperature anomaly for Australia, and you can see 16 to 20 degrees below normal for the center of the country, and that's going to last for a few days. Take a look at this hailstorm from Damon, Texas. Holy macaroni. Let's play this for you so you can see the scale of this damage. If you see a dark spot, that means the panel has been shattered. So whole sections of panels here completely obliterated. This is a massive solar complex. Holy macaroni. It looks completely devastated. Over 50% of the panels have been destroyed. Think about the toxic waste during the next rainstorm that is going to wash through these broken panels into the groundwater, and that you get right there is your green movement. Absolutely disgusting what they've done to society and how they have duped us into this toxic waste nightmare that doesn't solve a single problem on Earth. Now, who's going to pay for it? Thousands of acres of a solar farm destroyed on the 24th. That's 2 days ago. State Farm, Farm Bureau, Allstate, they're already ducking and running from many states. The insurance industry is going to collapse with these green agendas. Complete propaganda. Here's the forecast. Strong to severe thunderstorms in the Midwest and eastern Gulf Coast. Heed the warnings. Strong to severe thunderstorms capable of producing damaging winds will continue to move across the Midwest and eastern Gulf Coast this evening. Heavy snow and blizzard conditions have diminished across the upper Great Lakes. However, lingering snow accumulations are likely through the night, and we'll take a look at that. First, take a look at these freeze warnings here. Heed the warnings if you're in Arkansas and north. Frost and freeze warnings are out, and many people have planted early. Take a look at the snowfall analysis from the last 48 hours, ending early this morning over a wide swath of 8 inches for hundreds, if not thousands of square miles, and certain areas impacted by a foot or more. The snow is still coming down on Minnesota and northern Wisconsin and will continue into the morning. There we can see that system right now. It's going to last for some time here, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, it's going to last until Thursday morning. So you'll see some flurries up in northern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin for the next few days as another storm here Wednesday makes its way into the Pacific Northwest, bringing more heavy snow to high elevations Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and by April 1st, the Four Corners is going to be in another winter storm, thankfully, after our event. So it's looking great for the San Luis Valley for the 30th and the 31st. And then it's going to get a little jiggy here in the beginning of April as another system, maybe the final winter storm to move through the Northeast, is going to bring heavy snow totals on the 2nd and the 3rd of April. And it will be epic. I mean, people haven't seen snow like this up in the Northeast for some time. Let's take a look at the snowfall totals here. Here is Wednesday through Thursday morning. You can see that residual snow in the northern tier. Most of the snow hitting Ontario there. And that heavy system Wednesday moving down the spine of the Sierras up to 16 inches by Thursday morning. Thursday through Friday and into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, that's our event. No snow in the San Luis Valley. That is great, but more snow for the West and the Pacific Northwest, specifically the Sierras, that could be picking up several feet of snow through the beginning of April. By April 1st, another storm system hits the Four Corners region, and we will be getting more of the global warming goodness. Take a look at the Northeast here, April 3rd and 4th, lighting up with 3 feet of snow for the high elevations of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. It's insane. Buckle up, Buttercup. Shut up, Al. Get your hole. Al Gore says it's never snowed in April. Apparently, he didn't get the memo. Grand solar minimum much. Seismic update. A big rumbler just kicking off, 6.4 in Vanuatu. Let's take a look. Is there a tsunami warning and watch? No tsunami warning and watch. Good news there. The quake struck at 10 kilometers. Now, the bad news is that the earthquake over in Indonesia the other day, holy macaroni. The aftermath of multiple earthquakes in East Java, Indonesia is not good. There are over 1,000 homes destroyed and multiple fatalities. Here, a man is checking on the situation of a quake-damaged classroom in Bawin Island in East Java. Clearly, you can see the destruction there. Homes literally cracked in half. Here, a damaged house is pictured after the earthquake in Bawin Island, East Java, Indonesia, on the 25th of March. That was yesterday. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to those affected. Soldiers are in place unloading packages of aid from Indonesia's National Disaster Management Agency, and it looks like they have got the situation under control. The bad news is that over 1,000 homes completely destroyed, and these homes, some of them, have been sitting for a very long time. Worldwide volcano news update. Ibu volcano in Indonesia. Explosions continued today. What a place to live. Get off the island. Rapehu volcano in New Zealand. A series of small earthquakes are continuing. And so we're keeping a close eye on that. Nevado de Ruiz, 20,000 feet. Popo to 19. Semeru, who knew? Now you do. Volcanic eruption seen today. Ibu to 12,000. Fuego to 15. Merapi to 14,000 feet today. Reykjanes, the eruption has subsided over the past 24 hours. Let's take a look. Here we are over at the live Reykjanes multi-view, and it looks pretty significant. A little bit of waning in the last 48 hours, but it looks like this baby is going to be erupting for quite a few days or more. Stay tuned for updates. The sea began to boil. Freak volcanic eruption of Santorini 1,300 years ago indicates that a huge blast can occur during a time of quiet. Bad news for those near Campi Flegrei. But a giant layer of pumice and ash found buried underwater in the Santorini caldera indicates an eruption in AD 726. Well, it was much bigger than previously thought, and Lee and I, maybe even Ransom, will cover it this weekend on the radio show as we will be absent. So stay tuned for more Boom. The link will be below. Space weather news. For the last 24 hours, we've had moderate M flares, several of them. None of them producing any significant space weather headed our way. 3D geomagnetic forecast is all quiet on the Western Front. which is good news, as we are at solar max, and those major sunspot systems are now turning away from Earth, leaving us in a safer space. Good news. Now, here is some of the sharticles coming out today. This is actually dated yesterday. Antarctic sea ice near historic lows. That couldn't be further from the truth. But I do digress. Antarctic ice is not declining. It is increasing, even based on their chart. See it going up here to March 14th? March 14th, it entered the 30-year average. Okay. Here is the lowest maximum recorded in just the last 40 years, because that's all the data we have on Antarctica, and it is far away from that and closer to the multi-decadal average of all of the reports. So don't believe any article by reading the headlines. This is simply a sharticle. Now on to the Baltimore Key Bridge collapse after ship's collision. They're claiming that this is not a terrorist attack, and I would agree, because this port is not that significant. In fact, I think it is the 9th largest port. Yeah, here it is. It is the 9th biggest port in the U.S. If this was an attack to affect our infrastructure, they would have hit one of the top 5 or several of them. So this appears to be simply an accident. Could it be due to DEI hiring? Yes. It could be some inexperienced pilot that is way overpaid and way underskilled that caused this catastrophe. And he may suffer the consequences with the lawsuits that will be coming over the next few years. For shizzle, for sure. Let's take a look at what happened here. This isn't the whole video. I wish I got some bigger, longer time here. But what happens as this ship leaves the port? It's taken from here, this brightly lit area, out with tugboats to turn around and enter the channel where it should have been able to easily maneuver itself underneath this bridge. But it loses power several times, and then they drop the wrong anchor, which causes this huge ship to list towards that pillar. And then, well, unfortunately, it's boom time. And all the construction workers that were sitting on the bridge lost their life in an instant. Now, this is going to affect commerce in the United States, probably in some way, specifically in this region, unfortunately. And there is no way for hazardous material to get out of this area anymore. They're going to have to take a long wraparound, which is bad news for the trucking industry. So this is going to add insult to injury. As inflation goes up, prices are going to continue to rise as infrastructure fails. This is the slow rollout of the demise of the U.S. dollar and our economy. I hope you're hedging your bets and you're shifting cash into precious metals, seeds, and other preps, tangible things that are worth money, because money is going to be worth nothing in a few minutes here. Amazing clouds in Gorham, New Hampshire.
A stunning bridge collapse at the port of Baltimore.
The entire Key Bridge.
Sorry about that. Here is amazing clouds in Gorham, New Hampshire that Jimmy, the electrician, sent in. Absolutely spectacular. Now, it was as early as the 1970s, the first geologic paper on clouds came out. Rollers, ripples, and vortices that explain the processes happening up in clouds and their formation are exactly the same as the roller, ripples, and vortices in tidal currents, rivers, streams, and lakes. Very fascinating paper. Go get it. Now, here's some really good preparedness information. In Colorado, you need these climate-resilient gardening practices or you'll lose everything. Hail, drought, and snow are all issues, even in the middle of summer in certain areas in Colorado, and it's a bummer. Our high-low never gets above 54 degrees, so we're in a pretty extreme environment here, but the good news is that you can protect your crops when they're young, like these little seedlings here, by making small hoop houses and protecting them for that spring and early summer hailstorms that can be quite spectacular here. One year, we got like 12, 14 inches of hail in town in a few hours. It collapsed every canopy. It destroyed so much. But the sun came out and it was 70 again. Can you imagine that? Yeah, your entire garden will be destroyed in an instant unless you protect it. Now, once the plants are bigger and more mature, you kind of cross your fingers during hailstorms. A lot of the leaves get damaged, but they do recover. It is the early stages you need to protect your crops in this high elevation nightmare that we love so much. Now, if you're preparing and you can't make it out to the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange this weekend, we have the cheapest open pollinated, and native seed keeper. Yeah, this is the place you want to buy seeds. A seed company that was created by Native Americans to secure our seed sovereignty. That's all you need to know. If you're looking for a variety of vegetable seeds to grow your own food, you've come to the right place at Alliance of Native Seed Keepers. Cheapest prices on the internet, the best quality seeds, personal service, and 10% off if you put in ORP 2024, all caps, when you make the order at the link below. It supports the channel. It supports your peace of mind and your food security. Get growing, kids. I can't say it enough. Lee and I will be at the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange all weekend. The event kicks off Saturday morning, 10 a.m., with the traditional seed swap that is completely free. There are seeds you can purchase there as well, but there are free seeds. So if you come here, you can hook yourself up and get all the free seeds you need, especially from our booth. Lee and I will be talking on the first day on the medicinal properties of hops, and that talk will be happening, I don't even know, 12:30 p.m. There you go. So if you're coming to the show, get there by 12:30 on Saturday and check out our talk on the medicinal properties of hops and visit the booth where you'll get some free medicine, free seeds, and we'll be selling a plethora of other products, all handmade. Leah made a bunch of tallow bombs for pain and anti-aging and other things. Very unique experience for networking for like-minded people. So go get it. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. And watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free. Be safe. We love you. And we'll see you all at the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange this weekend. I can't wait.